Hello there and happy Monday, 7th graders. This is Mrs. Oliver bringing you today's lesson. So today we are going to focus on word problems with two-step equations. Okay, so our objective, I will solve word problems with two-step equations. We already know how to solve a one and two-step equation, okay, and we know how to check them. That's what we've been working on since Thanksgiving. So today we're going to be given a word problem. We're going to have to write the equation to it and then solve it and check our answers. Okay, so we're keeping track of this in your notebook is going right after doing our distributive property two-step equations. Okay. All right, cubes. You should know this. We have used this all the time. Okay. Cube stands for circle the numbers and labels, underline the math clue words, box in the question, eliminate the extra info, and then solve and show work. Okay, so this is how we want to lay it out every time. I was going to try to zoom in if it will let me. There we go. That's probably too much. Let's try 200. There we go. So we're going to use our cubes while we do this. And the way we want to set it up is after we've done our cube steps, we are going to need to define what the variable is going to represent. And that's another thing that might be called a let statement. Then we actually need to write our equation using the information we have found. And then we have to use our algebraic skills and solve it. And then we want to give our answer in a sentence form because these are word problems. So we have to give a sentence as our answer. Okay, so let's look at number 1. We have Brian is saving money to buy a skateboard that costs $85. He has already saved $40 and plans to save the same amount each week for 3 weeks. How much money should he save each week? So we need to circle our values that pop up. Okay, we have that the skateboard is $85. $40 is how much he already has. And then it's not written as a word, but 3 weeks is important as well. Okay, so then remember cubes. So next is underline math clue words. This is something that might tell you what operation you're actually going to need to use. Okay, so Ryan is saving money to buy a skateboard that costs $85. He already saved $40 and plans to save the same amount each week for the 3 weeks. Okay. And the cost. That's kind of like your total. How much is he spending total for this? All right, so is there anything we can eliminate out of there? I don't think they gave us any information this time. But we need to box in our question. What did they ask us to find? Okay, they asked us to find how much money should he save each week. Okay, now using all of that, we can come up with our let statement and our equation. Okay, so our let statement is let M. What should M represent? Well, what are we working with? We're working with money. So money saved. Right? Another clue of what your variable should be is it has something to do with our question that we just boxed in. That makes it so much easier if you know what they wanted us to do. So now we need to come up with our equation. Something times the variable. So what is keyword that means to multiply? Our word each. Okay, so each week for 3 weeks. So right there tells me I need 3 times my variable So 3 times money plus how much did he already save? He's already got 40 bucks in his savings. And how much is he spending in total? That's what the word cost means. That's a grand amount. Right there is step 2. So we've already defined a variable. We wrote our 2-step equation, and now we're going to use algebra to solve. Okay? Remember, it's the same steps we've been using. Nothing has changed. Okay? First, we want to undo our addition and subtraction. So I want to get rid of this addition of 40. Okay? So with my 40, we want to get rid of that. I want to make that red. Okay? Anything I'm changing, I'm going to make a different color. So we subtract 40 on both sides. That then will give us our equation simplified to a 3m now equals 45. Okay. Now 3m is multiplication. And what is the opposite of multiplication? Well, it is division. So I'm going to just underline these because we are now going to divide them both by 3. Because that is what is with the variable, and we want to isolate the variable. Right there. And then we get our solution. Well, 3 goes into 45 and equals 15 times. Now, is that how I'm going to leave my answer? No, it says we must write a sentence. Okay, so over here we're going to write our sentence. Who's saving money? Ryan. Okay, needs to save $15 each week. That is your sentence for that. Okay, now if I had some more room, could I easily go in and check this? Yes. Okay, could I do some mental math? 3 times 15 makes 45. 45 plus 40 makes 85. So if I still can check my work if I'm not sure. All right, number 2, same thing. We're going to use our cubes, circle information numbers as we read along. Paulo has $145 in his savings account. He earns $36 a week mowing lawns. If Paulo saves all of his earnings, after how many weeks will he have $433? Okay. Important information. He has $45. He earns $36 a week. If Paulo saves all his money, how many weeks will he have? So that kind of gives us some of a clue. All right, so what should our variable, oh, we forgot to box. Let's box in our question. What's our question? After how many weeks will he have $433? Right? That has something to do with our variable. Okay, so we're trying to find out how many weeks. So weeks is what is unknown. So W represents the weeks. Okay. Then what should our equation be? Well, in my equation, he already has 145, so that's something I'm adding. If I'm making $36 a week, that's 36 my week. plus what he already has. And the total we're trying to get is 433. So there's your equation spot. Okay. So now let's solve that. I need to get rid of this 145. So we can subtract that on both sides. Okay. Remember, you want to do the opposite of what you see to undo it. So that way we're slowly working it so that we have our 36W equals, well, 5 can't go into 3, so this is really a 13 or 2, so 8. That's a 2, so I borrow from here to make it a 12. 12 minus 4 is 8, and 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. Next step is to divide, because that is the opposite. Oops, whoa. Let's try it. Okay, so now I'm putting my fraction bar to show one that I'm going to divide. So if you're doing this on on a Kami, this is how you can show your work to get your full credit. Making does take a little bit more work than just using your stylus. We'll give you that. Okay, so then what does W equal? It is W equals 8. Right, go off to the side if you need to, do your long division. Okay, so now I have to give the answer in a sentence form. Okay, follow have 433 in 8 weeks. Okay, so there is your answer to that problem. Let's see. It's small enough so when I print it. Make sure when you go through each of these, you should know how to go through your word problems. Okay, maybe making the two-step equations part is the new part. Just look for those keywords. All right, one more example I'm going to do with you, and then the next two I would like for you to try to see if you can do them yourself, and then check back with your answer. Lindsay is buying a pound of cheese. Okay. And 2 pounds of ham at the deli counter. Well, 2 is a number. The cheese is $3.99, and her total cost is $14.97. What was the cost of the ham? Okay, so we circled our important information. I would say probably a pound isn't also a number because that's telling us she's only getting 1 pound of it. All right, so now let's underline our information. Okay, she's getting a pound of cheese. So that tells me I would take, if I had multiple pounds of cheese, we would multiply. And it means she is adding the cost of 2 pounds of ham. That means you're multiplying the cost times 2. And the cheese is $3.99. Our total cost right here. Ooh, total cost all together. All right, now let's box in our question. What is it wanting us to find? Well, we need to find what does it cost per pound of the ham. Is there any extra information they gave us? Not a whole lot that I can really identify quickly. And then S is solve. All right, so let's find our variable. What is the cost per pound? So let's use P per pound. Okay. Then we can make our equation. My equation, I have 2 pounds of ham and the pound of cheese, which was $3.99. And this all equals the $14.97. Okay. So if I have 2p plus my $3.99, I want to get rid of that $3.99. So I am going to subtract that on both sides. Okay. Oops. Equals 97. And then subtract your $3.99 on that side as well. Remember, wherever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Keep it balanced. So once we subtract that, we then know we got rid of this here. That has canceled out. The whole point of doing that. We took this part and brought it over to this side with its inverse operation. So now we just have 2p equals our 1098. Now remember, you always line up your decimals. Okay. Then we have to take our 1098 and we have to do some division. So I'm going to put my little fraction bar to show that I am now dividing. And what am I going to divide by? Well, what's in front of my p? By 2. And I want to get rid of my 2. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. That gives me my variable p by itself. Once I divide my 1098 from 2, I get 549. Remember, we can't leave our solution like that. We have to write our answer as a sentence. Okay, so who's buying the cheese and ham? Lindsay. He paid $5.49 per pound of all that right there for you. Okay. Just got to go through each step, not a race. Take your time and double check your work. Okay, can I take my 549 and replace P with it to see and make sure I get the same statement? Yes, it is highly advised. All right, now 4 and 5, I went ahead and have everything circled out for you. This one on 4 actually had where we can eliminate information. The 4 by 6 prints. Okay, so pause this, try to see if you can figure them out yourself. Okay, and like to push for you to make sure and think it through yourself, because the teachers, we're not going to always be there to tell you what to think and how to process this. This is why you are learning it. So pause now. All right, so now hopefully you have gone through and you have solved this. Okay, I had P equals the amount of prints. My equation was 1900s P plus my 59500s equals $15.83. Subtract your 595 on both sides. Get 1900s P equals $9.88. Divide. I got P equals 52, but that's not my answer. My answer is almost bought 52 prints in January. Okay, so hopefully you got through all that. All right, if you haven't done number 5, go ahead and pause and come back. Okay, Kerry takes up a delivery consignment. He delivers a few packages. 1/4 of, and of always means to multiply, the packages remain in the truck. This excludes, that means not added to it, subtracted, the 5 packages that were returned. If the truck contains 65 packages now, how many packages were there in Kerry's original consignment? Okay, so P equals the packages in the truck. at 1/4 times p, or you could put p over 4, minus 5 equals 65. I added 5 to both sides. So you get 1/4 p, or p over 4, equals 70. Now to get your 1/4 away, you have to multiply by its reciprocal, which is 4 over 1, or just 4. So then I got that there were 280 packages originally in Carrie's consignment. Alrighty, so next, your assignment is an exit ticket. You have 4 problems that you're going to go through. They have a little flow chart to help you walk through. Okay, so read the word problem, use your cubes, define your variable. What are the key words that you underlined? Write and solve your equation and check your solution. There's plenty of room to check your solution. Then answer in a sentence form. Alrighty, have a great day.